If you're going through a breakup right now, I'm going to tell you something that no one's going to tell you. And it's not something you necessarily want to hear, but it's something you should hear. You are causing your own suffering in this experience. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take time to feel your emotions, but more often than not, we are the ones who make our emotions more than they are. The funniest thing about this, though, is that we are taught this at a very young age, just in our society, and no one teaches us how to unlearn this situation. So what I'm saying is, if you can feel this way, you can also not feel this way. And you can also not feel this way by learning or unlearning what you already know, and learning and changing your perception every single day, training your mind to not feel this way. So it's a lot easier said than done, but I'm gonna give you a few quick tips on how to do that. So it'll make this video really impactful for you. The first thing I would say is you have to start practicing what is known as meditation. Now, meditation might sound like a fancy word to you or something that you've heard before, or maybe isn't that what those yoga people do? Well, yes and no. Meditation is an age-old practice, dating back to Eastern Asia, thousands of years. And what it is just observing your thoughts, observing your feelings and emotions. And the reason that you sit down on a cushion and you meditate and close your eyes and focus on your breath, your feelings and emotions, is it develops a strength or a faculty or a skill, so to speak, on how to watch your thoughts. So if that makes sense, just think of your thoughts like a conveyor belt. And every day you go out and about and you start having thoughts of good thoughts, bad thoughts, neutral thoughts, and they pass by you on a conveyor belt. Well, with meditation, you're able to observe those thoughts from a third-person perspective, but not engage with them. And this is really important because if you're going through a breakup right now, you might be having a lot of negative thoughts about yourself, about your reality, your environment. Will anything ever get better? Whatever, right? I'm not worthy, or I'm ugly, or whatever it is. Those thoughts aren't true. Those are just thoughts that you're having. So this is why meditation is very important. You sit down, you meditate, you close your eyes for 5 to 10 minutes and focus on your breath. And you might notice some small changes in feelings or some thoughts that come, and just be aware of them. And then when you go about your daily life and you start thinking of your breakup, you'll have the understanding that, wait a minute, that's just a thought. That's not necessarily something that's true, and I can challenge that thought. The second thing I wanted to throw in is grief. You should understand that you can grieve literally anything. And if you don't know what the word grief is when something leaves. This could be a person, this could be an experience, this could be somebody passing into the next life. This could be holding grief or just holding space for grief of something that you wanted but never got. The truth is that we can grieve many different things in our lives, and it's important that we hold space for grief, but we don't sit within our grief so long that we become sad, depressed, and start having really unhealthy thoughts. So make sure that you're mindful of your thoughts and mindful of your emotions, but also give space to feel those thoughts and emotions, but not attach to them. Another good example of that is don't say the words, I am angry or I am sad, because now you are actually identifying with sadness or with anger. Instead, you can say something like, I'm feeling sad, or anger is present. And that's actually what they do in a lot of Buddhist teachings in the East, because it frames it in a way where you're not identifying with it. And then the final thing I would say to you if you're going through a breakup is that, yes, you decide how you feel. Hold your space for those feelings. Don't over-engage with them, and find that balance. But furthermore, understand that this feeling will change. Nothing is permanent in this world. That is the only permanent thing you can guarantee on. So yeah, you're feeling sad right now, but don't feel so much pity, because the more that you feel that pity, the more that you try to hold on to that sadness, the longer you're prolonging that experience when you really don't need to.